Welcome to Preparing for the Unexpected. I'm your host, Alex Fullick, and as always, we like to talk about things related to resilience, risk, crisis management, anything that helps you, your organization, or your community prepare for, respond to, and overcome adverse situations. Today, we're going to be talking about a few different subjects, things like risk, people and processes, Presilience, which you may have heard me mention a couple of times before, and I'd like to welcome to the show today someone who was actually in my training course on Presilience, part of my cohort. Had some great conversations with him, and he's been posting a lot of interesting information on LinkedIn. So I hope everyone checks him out and follows him. And I'd like to welcome to the show Dr. Fayed, and I hope I said this right, Alenezi.
Yeah, you're right.
I did say it right. Oh, great. Fayad, it's great to see you again. Welcome to the show.
Thank, thank you very much. It's great to be your guest, Alex. I've been waiting for this.
Oh, good. Well, I've been waiting to chat too because you're an author, a speaker, a risk thought leader, you're a researcher. So I'm really looking forward to what you might have to share today.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Want to jump in to our question? I got a big one
Yeah,
right to start with.
go ahead.
The first big question. Risk is often seen as a, excuse me, a negative four-letter word, but you see risk as something different. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So basically, businesses, organizations, and individuals, they all exist to gain something. Every corporate, every investment, everything, every innovation idea we do, it's in a pursuit of a value. So risk and that by itself is falls under the category of uncertainty or in the space of uncertainty where things can go to the way you want
Right.
or cannot, right? So risk basically cannot be something to fear. It's actually the price of participation. So you're involved in a business, there's a price to pay, in order for you to gain something out of this. So there is always an opportunity embedded in risk, right? So
Yeah.
every decision, even in businesses, carries, you know, potential loss as well as potential gain, right? So risk management basically is not only minimizing the potential loss, it's also maximizing the potential gain at the same time. So people really call, risk really a four-letter word, and as it is, right? But maybe we've been using, the wrong four letters. So let me give you, my version of risk. R stands for respect. So we need to respect the uncertainty. We don't need to fear it. We only need to understand it. I stands for integrate. Uncertainty, if it's not integrated into decisions, it's useless. So we need to integrate it into every decisions, not only on reports on registers, right? S, seek. We really need to seek risk. We really need to seek uncertainty, right? We open businesses, we try different things, we we try to be innovative, in order to pursue something. That thing is risk. That thing is uncertainty. So we shouldn't be afraid. So it's something to seek, especially the upside of things and try to minimize the downside. And K, which is the most important thing, which is know. You need to know your context. You need to know your assumptions. You need to know your limits, your thresholds, all these. Risk and uncertainty, they live in context. The moment you separate them from that pool of context, they're dead. They're useless. So that's my version of risk. So if leaders start to see that version of risk, they may start to see risk management as a barrier, as a driver, not as a barrier.
Quite often, excuse me, and I've worked on many mega projects and things like that for financial institutions. And every time risk comes up or enterprise risk management team, everybody is fearful. But you see it as no, it's an opportunity to grow, to get better. It's not
True.
it's not something to be feared.
True, because it's the reality. Uncertainty is everywhere, right? And we open businesses, we try new things, you know, on the hope that we gain something, you know. If we don't full understanding of that thing, which is uncertainty, we're not leveraging the whole benefit of risk management, right? And the word risk may give bad perception, but if we replace it with uncertainty, it will be a bit smoother, on decision makers and our people.
Well, it's interesting that you explain it that way because people see risk, like we said earlier, as something negative, something to be fearful, but yet even individuals on a daily basis face risk that they don't even know. And it seems that a lot of people, going out their front door can be a risk. They could trip over the step, but they don't think
True,
of those kind of risks. They don't think of that kind of stuff. They see risk as something else, something somewhere further away. But the way you're explaining it is you take a step out your door, see that as an opportunity, not
true,
trip over a step, of course,
true.
but step out the door and there's an opportunity in front of you. And it doesn't matter how far away it is, there's still opportunity right there.
Yeah. And just think about your desire to open a business or something. You're hoping to gain something. That desire helps you navigate that uncertainty because it's on your benefit, right? It, unless you want to live in the illusion that everything is safe around you, which is not good. And part of this dilemma, part of this challenge, are different reasons. We can, dive deep into, the quality of the standards that we have, the quality of the education that we have, the quality of courses being taught in risk management. You know, they're telling you that you need separated risk process, separated risk framework, separated people, but risk is not separated. Risk is like dimension a way of thinking, that needs to be embedded, where business decisions are being made. The moment you take that factor away, you shut it off from reality. It means useless. It will satisfy auditors. It will please them because you're gonna have amazing reports, amazing dashboards. How about the strategic value? And what worries me the most is the true uncertainties that are facing my business or my organizations. Who are dealing with them if I'm not involved, if the risk department is not involved, if they're not using my techniques, my tools, my expertise,
Yeah.
it it's creating a blind spot. We're dealing or we're depending on luck, we're depending on leadership expertise, that's it. We're not not depending on what's really, you know, crucial here, which is, the risk function. It's a full discipline with full of tools that can navigate the future. You're shutting that off right away by just putting it on, on an office that, disconnect from decision making.
There were two things you touched on that I want to ask you about. The first comment you had is you feel afraid of risk, but you just want to keep everything comfortable where you are. You're used to where you are, you know. But to get to that comfort level, I think a lot of people forget they would have already faced risk to get there, to get to that comfort level where they feel
True.
comfortable. buying a new house, a bigger house, moving, creating a family, anything, starting a new job. Yeah, I'm happy where I am. But you have to have taken that risk or address those risks and seen those risks as opportunities to get to that point where you actually feel comfortable.
True. And but part of this came because you disconnect your life from your businesses. So you think Alex in your organization is different than Alex, at home, right? Which is a big problem. Being good in risk management requires that you're being even better at it at home. So if you are a terrible decision making at home and you're not taking wise decisions, you're not being careful, you're not considering the uncertainty in your next business trip or your next fun trip, how we expect much of you to help us navigate big uncertainty.
Yeah.
So risk management is a life skill, right? You develop it in your own life, and you give me in my organization the best of that.
Yeah. I like how you mentioned that in a way, as it's a life skill, you're not really separating your work life from your personal life. It's you. And it doesn't matter which environment you're in, it's you looking at risk, not at home. I don't have to think about it. Yes, you do. They may be different risks, but you still have to think about it. And in the office, same thing. Maybe different than the ones at home, but you still have to address it. So I like how you
True.
you mentioned that it's you. You're the connection between those.
True. And maybe at home, you're not even using standards or dashboards or registers, and you're doing perfect. Why is it so tough to do it now with all these technologies
Yeah,
and all these tools,
yeah.
that we have, in businesses? It's a big question, why are we so terrible in our organizations, and it's so disconnect,
Yeah.
where at home we're doing fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that thinking, starting with, yourself, which I know we're going to touch on later on. So,
Yeah.
so don't go down that road yet. The other thing I liked what you mentioned earlier is the risk your organization may be seeing or facing. Other organizations may be facing those exact same risks. And it's how you view those risks that will put you in front of them, right? Could put you
True.
in front of them.
True, because it's all coming down to your strategy, your business decisions, how are you looking at those competitors? How are they doing? Are you navigating the strategy of, like, the portfolio of your business? Are you aware even of that or not?
Right.
So that's the business advantage that risk management can provide, if it's embedded into decision making.
Yeah, because if you see it as risk as an opportunity, like you defined earlier, then you are going to be better. You're going to, hopefully, you're going to have a bigger market share, stronger products, better and happier customers. And if your competitor sees the same risk as, oh, we better stay clear because, we're not sure something could go wrong, not seeing it as an opportunity, well, then they are not going to have those new services, those new products, and a happy customer base. You're going to outpace them because they're going to fall
True.
behind.
And that will kill innovation, right?
Yes.
What gives you the competitive advantage is innovation. Innovation means trying new things, trying crazy things, right?
Yes.
So you're swimming in that distribution of probability of uncertainty, that you're trying different things,
Yeah.
that may work. If you don't have that capability of believing in yourself and your team, the alignment that we all hope to get, you don't have the capability to try something new, right?
Yeah.
If you think, risk is bad, just, all innovative ideas, they were crazy at first, but now they turned out to like millions in sales, right? They
Yes.
opened jobs, big companies, right? It started with a risk, you
Yeah.
know. So it kills the driver to be innovative, you know,
Right.
once you get yourself in the box of compliance. And don't get me wrong, compliance is good, but it's not the whole story. It's
Yeah.
not the whole story. Innovation means not only going outside the box, it's actually creating a new box,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Are you creating a new box or not? That's the big question. Is risk management going to create something new or not? It depends on the people.
Yeah. And you know, to be open for everyone, it doesn't mean every single thing you try will be a success. But if you learn from that mistake, you make the next risk challenge you come across a stronger opportunity because you can take those learnings from the failure and make something even better the next time, something you may not have even
True,
thought of, improved on it. Not
true,
everything will be a success, of course.
true. And if risk is away from these all these trials, failures, learning points, you know, you will not get innovation,
Yes.
because you will be afraid every time of failing, you know, or going to a trap, or losing some money or something, you know.
Yeah. And then you get into that position where you do fear risk and you start withdrawing. You see it as a roadblock rather than the opportunity because you're
True,
not taking advantage of the
true,
learnings from a failure. You take it personally.
true,
I think a lot of people take it personally. So then they don't want to go through that again and they don't learn, they don't grow, which means, as you said, less innovation. So the organization isn't growing.
true. And uh, one main challenge in risk management, that you try to enter that field or that meeting and try to do some risk management, you end up fixing other stuff.
Mm,
Maybe goal setting is not clear, alignment between people is not clear. So that, becomes part of the package of risk management. Now you try to, clarify the goals, try to find alignment, try to create value. And that's what I love about like the Presilience model. It gives you everything, that you need, including risk at the heart of the model.
and we're going to touch on that soon too.
Sure. Sure.
So why don't we take a break and we're going to come back. We're going to continue our talk on risk and resilience and a couple of other items that we've got here. We're talking today with Dr. Fayadh Alenezi, and we will be right back.